I recently spotted a headline in the South China Morning Post that said that China traps 3 more deserts with its green Great Wall. Since the 1970s, China has aimed to halt the expansion of its deserts that are already dangerously close to city centers such as Beijing itself. How are India's deserts behaving, and what do their changing shapes mean for our economy? Hello and welcome back to Business Matters of the Hindu with me, K. Bharat Kumar. China's expanding deserts have spelled concern for that country's large metro regions. China's north, northeast and northwest have all been threatened by the shifting sands that help deserts expand. For decades, China has tried to halt this progress with green boundaries and aggressive afforestation. The benefits of greening deserts are obvious: more arable land and hence better livelihoods. But when not supported by the rains, it can also mean depletion of the groundwater table, which quickly affects not just the recently desert-turned agricultural land, but also nearby areas. Rural populations often tend to lose access to water. How have India's own deserts behaved, specifically its largest, the Thar Desert, behaved? Though India's efforts at afforestation have not been as aggressive as China's, India has been helped by shifting patterns in the monsoon. Over the years, the monsoon in India has shifted slowly westward, giving wetter seasons to parts of the Thar region. Last year, a study by the UK's Cotton University researchers with data over a 50-year period showed that India's monsoons had delivered 50% more rains to regions in the west of India, while the east had seen a 10% depletion, as cited by an article at the Geographical website. In addition, of course, are manual efforts at afforestation that aim to increase arable land. That brings us to the important question: what is the economic impact? There is no thumb rule by which we can say that for every additional centimeter of rainfall, land productivity goes up by a certain quantum in an arid region, for greening depends on a lot of other factors, but there is an obvious benefit. According to a study led by IIT Gandhinagar, published in May this year, the Thar region experienced a 38% increase in vegetation between 2001 and 2023. In the same period, it also witnessed a 64% rise in rainfall. What is significant is that more than half, or that is 55% of the greening was enabled by groundwater pumping and only the rest by rainfall, whose changing patterns have of course been influenced by climate change. Interestingly, the study also noted that only 4 among the 14 deserts globally, that is the Thar, the Arabian Desert, the Negev and Eastern Gobi alone, have seen an increase in rainfall. The Thar region also experienced the highest population growth among all the 14 major deserts across the globe during 2000 and the 2020 period, that is 20 years, followed by the Arabian Desert, while most other deserts did not experience a considerable increase in population. The population growth in the Thar region has been in tandem with expansion of urban areas and cropland. The region is also expected to experience a progressively increasing rainfall over time. These are all lead indicators of a change in the region's economy, but it's not all good news. Climate change may deliver more rainfall to arid and semi-arid regions, but it could also result in sudden floods. With increased rainfall, the flora and fauna of the region have gradually begun to see a change, and it bodes poorly for desert ecology, according to some ecologists. In addition to rising temperatures, dwindling water supplies during the dry season, overuse of groundwater and erratic rainfall make the rapid urbanization and agriculture unsustainable. If gains are reversed, there is a risk to food security and livelihoods. The Cotton University paper thus stressed the need for sustainable practices. That brings us to the Did You Know section of our episode. Did you know that the Thar region was not always a desert, but the signs started appearing about 2 to 3.6 million years ago? Human settlements began to appear about 800,000 years ago. Though it was semi-arid at that time, the vegetation and water supply supported human habitation. Full aridity set in only about 4,000 years ago. And the quiz question for this week: how much rain did the Thar Desert receive in 2023 versus what it received in 2001? And the answer to last week's quiz question: which airline recently announced a layoff for the first time in its 53-year history? The answer is Southwest Airlines, announced in February this year. This was a decision that it referred to as unprecedented in its history. That's all we have for you folks in this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Until we meet again, have a lovely week ahead.